guys, what's up? Hope you guys are doing well. Appreciate you guys joining the stream on a Wednesday afternoon. We normally don't stream at this time, but pretty excited about the Diamond DA-62. And now this plane came out a while ago. We all know it came out a while ago, but it's just added to FSE last night, actually, and the alias was added today, about a half hour ago, actually. So I figured I'd jump on here and take it on the inaugural flight from where I purchased it, which is Virginia Beach, 42 VA, for, I think it was $403,000 I paid for it. There's only a few of them left. I'm not sure if they're going to be adding more. Most of them seem to be in the U.S., which is good for us in the U.S., we fly in the U.S., but I know there's some people complaining about that there weren't many of them overseas. So, in any event, I'm pretty happy to be flying this plane. I flew it around a little bit. It's just a dream in VR. It really is. It's I paid for it. I didn't get it for free. Aerobask didn't give it to me. I paid for this plane. So anything I'm always objective, or I guess I'm always objective. I'm always, critical if there's an issue, and I will be if there is, but so far I haven't really found anything. When I first loaded the plane up, I had some issues, but I had to just restart X-Plane and everything worked fine. So all the VR commands, the touch controllers work great, and it's fun. It's really fun to fly. And the nice thing about it for FSE is 6 passengers, and we'll go over that. So I already got it running here. Let's get inside the plane here. I'm not going to go through cold and dark because I haven't. I'm sure it's easy to start up. Looks like it's probably pretty easy to start up, but I want to go through the manual first before I attempt that. But in any event, I can tell you in VR, it's an exquisite job. It really is. The details of the console or the instrument panel and the leather on top with the stitching and all the dials and indicators and stuff is top-notch, first class. You get what you pay for. It's a $35 plane, but I can tell you that for $35 you're getting a pretty damn nice plane. So, and the Diamond 62 has got that very sleek style to it, twin engine, turbocharged engine. Get up to, I think, about 172 top speed. That's if you're just putting pedal to the metal. And I could tell you that it's easy to fly, but it seems very realistic to me. Again, not a real pilot, but from all the other planes that I've flown in X-Plane, it just seems like they did a really nice job of the flight model. But in any event, we're going to get to that. What I want to do first, though, is show you where we're going to go here. So I picked this plane up. Let me just pull picked this plane up at, again, Virginia Beach, and for $400,000. Pardon me, for $400,000. And if we look, there's still a couple for sale. There's 4 for sale. Cheapest you're going to pay is $464. That's in Brazil, and you've got a couple more in the U.S. that you can pick up. But so I got a good deal on it, $400K. And let's see. So we're going to take this. We have 5 passengers going to Reagan National. So we're going to take those folks there. And then what we're going to do is once we drop them off at Reagan National, we're going to head back to Cape May, which is our hub, our new Eastern hub. And I'm not sure if I've streamed since we purchased that. I think I did. But in any event, we're going to get this back to its home, which is KWWD. So about 239 miles. Going to be a pretty long trip, but this thing moves pretty quick. So it'll probably take us about 2 hours to get it done. Maybe a little bit longer with the stop. So in any event, so the plane we're flying is the Aerobask Diamond DA-62, and it's basically a 7-seater in FSE. We'll take a look at the FSE specs in a second. FSC, it's 6 seats. Twin engines, turbocharged, rail injected, 2.0 liter jet fuel engine, 180 horsepower each. It's very nicely modeled in VR. It's actually pretty stunning in VR. One of the nicer high-res cockpits and externals that I've seen. Very nicely done, and I'm sure they're going to be hopefully keeping up with the plane. And you can see if you want to go to their website and check out all these pictures. That's great. I am going to be doing a livery for VRAviation for it. I started working on that already, so that's in the works. But in any event, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing that flight today, and pretty straightforward. So I'm going to need, let's see, how much, let's see, we got 250 miles. So 250, I mean, I need 25 gallons. I've got 49. I'll put a little bit more in there. What the hell? So let's go to 60, just so we have ample fuel. If we take a look at the plane, the specs of it, so you've got 7 seats, 172 knots. The fee is about $2,800. 98 gallon capacity, 17 gallons per hour consumption. I guess that's at cruise. 6 passengers, not a lot of weight you can carry, but 6 passengers. And it's got all the equipment, and this, you can see this one has 0 hours on it. So we're going to be taking this on its first, breaking in the engines, if you will. All right, cool. So that's that, and let's see. Now it's got the G1000, the Laminar G1000. I've already loaded my flight plan in here. Let's get over here. I love the way that they, like, all the keys are like sticking out, which is good. So it's like, seems like it's easy to access. And these all the fuses work from what I've read. So if you want to mess with that, I generally don't do that, but you can do that. And there's our flight plan. We're heading to DCA, and then we're going to head to Cape May. So we're good to go there. We don't need to fly too high, but we'll probably, let's go to, we'll fly at 2,000 feet. That should be fine. Let's see, we're going to go nav. And we're going to fly vertical speed at, we'll climb at 500 feet per minute. So we're all set up there, and all we need to do now is turn on FSEconomy. Get our asses in the air. So I already set up the alias, so we should be good to go there, and we are. Just double check that we are en route, which we are. All right, good. So we got our passengers. Not a big money flight, but nonetheless a nice fun flight to fly. So let's get this thing in the air. All right, I love this. The sounds are awesome too. I love the way this sounds. All right, here we go. We're in a, I guess I didn't realize Virginia Beach was a grass field. Now, you do got to be careful not to overcook this engine. Nice sounds though. Let's get those flaps to take off. I always say flops because of poker. Flops is a poker term for Texas Hold'em. All right, so let's get this thing in the air and rotate. Set gear up. Real smooth frame rates. Super smooth frame rates. Flaps up. And we can get our autopilot on now. Take us out over the beach a little bit here. You can see how things are smoothing. Now, I've actually upped my graphics. I've got visuals on high, but I have textures on max now. So I haven't moved the visuals up. I probably will. But yeah, and I have had no problems really with any planes. Maybe a little bit of stuttering, micro stuttering with some of the Carinado planes, but like the PC-12 was stuttering a little bit. But like this plane is really nice. I mean, there's a little stuttering, but it's, you know, it's manageable. And what's nice about having those extra textures is your ortho looks a lot better, which is awesome. So anyway, so first impressions, again, cockpit looks certainly clean, well designed. I've never sat in a real DA-62, but this seems pretty damn real to me. Let's check out the back here. So if we go in the back seat, let's see there. Here's our wing view from the back. Got your console up there with your reading lights and stuff. I guess let's see if we can play with these reading lights. Yep, those reading lights work. That's cool. Grab that seat belt? Nope, can't grab the seat belt. Usually just do the light laser pointer. It'll tell you what you can. I don't want to open that door while we're flying. So that's the 3 seats back here, and then if we go back a little further, this is the second row seating back here. And we got some lights here too. It's kind of cool. Alright, so that's the plane, the cabin itself. It's a tight fit for 7 people, but nonetheless you can get 7 people in it. There's a nice golf course. That's one thing that's nice about having textures on Macs is that the golf courses look awesome. All right, so we're cruising along here. We've got. I want to bring that prop down a little bit. Now you don't have any engine parameters to you know, like an engine parameter page, or you don't have a checklist yet in here, but I'm sure hopefully over time they'll add that. Not sure what that might be. Richmond right there. I'm not sure. Let's see, what is that? NTW, I think it is. But yeah, just fun to fly, fun to land. Great sounds. Like, you feel like, I mean, I could probably turn the sound up a little bit, but to me it sounds like a real airplane, like you're in a real GA airplane with the engines, you know, whining. Now I don't have the air server running because I wanted to kind of conserve on frame rate to give this plane its due. Because when I run air server, generally it kind of chops down the frame rates a little bit. That's the ability to basically show you guys what's on the iPad, but the iPad. But I am using ForeFlight. So next I'll test that, see how that is with streaming. But I wanted to give it its just due. And again, I don't really notice any stammering or judder at all. It's a nice, I mean, there's a little bit of stutter. But again, I'm running at maximum textures, right? I'm sure if I was running at high textures, probably would have no stuttering whatsoever. I can live with a little stuttering to have the extra, you know, the extra clearness of imagery, you know. I look down there, it looks like realistic. Alright, so we've got, it's a pretty long trip. We got 122 miles. We're cruising at 160 right now, so nice cruising rate. Take a look outside the plane. It is a sleek looking plane. That is a sleek looking plane. Let's get this view here. I love this view. Oops. I hate when that happens. That's a cool view right there. Yeah, so I have some ideas on what I'm going to do for the livery for our group. You can see the textures just looks awesome. That golf course looks awesome. All right, so we're crossing, this is the Chesapeake, I guess. I mean, it feels like I could reach out and touch that engine, and it looks like so realistic. I mean, the modeling is very, very well done in VR for sure. I was a little skeptical. I read good things about it, but I got to tell you that it's pretty awesome. Everything is ortho M9. I mean, it's ortho with AutoGen on top of it. Everything, for me, everything on the East Coast is ortho. I've got it right, basically almost to the Mississippi. But it's AutoGen on top of that. Got your compass up there. It looks a little, that compass looks a little wacky. What's up with that compass? It's kind of weird. The way it's tilted like that. Isn't that kind of weird? Let me just see something. Get that N key. That's weird, the way that compass is tilted like that. Any ideas on that M9? Why the compass is tilted? Plane's not tilted. Plane's flying level. I can definitely confidently tell you that I've added this plane to my top 5 list for sure. There's no question about it. This one, the V-Flight Air SR20, the Challenger 300. I do like the Quest Kodiak. And probably the PC-12. Those are my top 5. This plane is definitely up. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to put the Mooney in there. Sorry. Let me take the PC-12 out and put the Mooney in there. You notice there's no Carenado planes in there, right? But yeah, the Mooney's got to be in there for sure. But this plane, the modeling is just fantastic. The one thing I wish it had is engine meters. That would be kind of cool if it had like real engine meters. I haven't been able to find them yet. Maybe there's someplace. Like everything looks so realistic. Like if I look at this little switch down there, I mean, it looks like it's metal. It looks like it's metal. Those cylinders on the brakes, they look like metal. Got your emergency gear extension. Alternate air. You got your teak molding there. Looks really nice. You got your lighting right there, pretty cool. Very nice. But I do wish it had engine. It does. It is a stick control rather than a yoke, but I'm using a yoke. Very nicely done. And basically the way you turn your lights and stuff on and off is just basically click and flick like that. I'm just like basically flicking my wrist like that. Same with that. Same with all these other things. Like if I wanted to turn, don't crash. If I wanted to turn the pitot heat on, I would basically, don't crash. I could use the laser pointer once I get this plane running here. It's going through, probably changing tiles. I can click that, just flick my wrist, and it turns it on, and the little on light comes on, which is cool. I like that as it has the indicator, which is cool. Fuel pumps, I guess I could turn those off. I hit the system button. Yeah, I tried that. Yeah, it brings up the electrical and the gauges. Yeah, I got that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so you got your engine flow, which is important. You know, I was looking more of like a status, like an engine status page like you see on the SR20 kind of thing, or on the Mooney, but this is fine. I guess I probably want to keep it at, yeah, right there. Let's see what else you guys got to say. I think the compass does tilt when you bank. Yeah, there's engine information on the MFD, but if you, like on the SR20, the V-Flight Air SR20, you hit engine and it brings up like those large gauges and stuff. That's what I'm kind of talking about. You hit the system button right under. Yeah, that's this button here, the system button. Oh, let's see. So let's see. Oh, this is the fuel. Incremental fuel. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I was talking about, like, you know, in the SR20, it's got like the big gauges for like fuel flow and engine temp and RPM and stuff like that. I guess you don't need that, but it's kind of cool to have. Yeah, let's take it off autopilot, just fly it a little bit, hand fly a little bit. I like the autopilot alert. This is nice. See, very smooth. The compass doesn't tilt up. See, that's weird. That compass is in an odd position. Yeah, let's get the autopilot back on. Yeah, I mean, it's all the information that you need, that's for sure. But I just, like I said, in the SR20, you've got the larger gauges. When you go over here, you got larger gauges it's easier to read from a distance, you know. That's okay. Simple plane, easy to fly. What is this? Oh, that's the rudder trim. It's your rudder trim. The trim wheel is here, which is kind of odd. Fuel is here. And I guess it's dual feed, so you don't have to worry about switching tanks, because it looks like the fuel quantities are staying pretty solid. Although I should probably know that ahead of time. I have to understand what the ECU testing are. I'm gonna read the manual so I can cold and dark this thing, and you know, make sure I know how the systems work. You know. All right, let's see. Getting to land here. If we got emergency landing is going to be in the swamp, basically, but that's okay. Chesapeake Peninsula. Actually, to our right there, that's Delaware, right there. Way across that. Oh, sorry about that. That was mine. Let's take that camera. Okay, hey, JKJP, I appreciate that. Are you, I'm going to take a wild guess here, are you one of the developers, or are you checking? I'm curious as to what you're checking. But you can see, if you look at this compass, it's not level with the plane. Plane is level, compass is not. It's kind of odd. It's okay. Still pointing in the right direction, which is important. All the textures just seem so real, you know. Like the paint job has a sparkle to it, which is kind of cool. Engine's in a really odd, it's a weird looking case, but I guess it's aerodynamic, which is why the plane is so efficient. Grass field there. Yeah, so we added KWWD as a 3-lotter to our Eastern network. I'm not sure if I've streamed since we added that. So we're getting a lot more activity in the region. So if you want to come fly VRAviation's region, just come to KWWD, and you have a lot of assignments to various airports. Actually, let me show you guys. Oh, you spent a lot of time under the hood. Okay. Oh, you're the V. Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, what you did with I'm gonna have to check that out. What Sim VR Labs did. That's pretty cool. You got a nice concept there. You're basically enhancing the VR experience, which is pretty cool. All right. So what I wanted to do is let's give an update on FSEconomy. So money wise, we got about 2.3 million in cash. We're saving up for hopefully another 3-lotter that I've got my eye on that we're hopefully going to be able to get. As far as our activity this month, almost 1.9 million in assignment income, 670,000 net profit, which is nice for mid-month. Our aircraft operation, we've got a net profit of 51,000, so that's on rentals, which is nice, and we'll take a look at the FBOs in a second. We did make some big purchases here. We bought, we bought a WWD cost us 2.5 million, I think. So that was a pretty big expense, but I think well worth it. It helps build out the network. So let's go to banking here. We'll take a look at. As you know, we sold off Europe, which is the France network. Now we paid about 800K for it, and we were able to sell it for 1.7, so we made 900,000, which is nice. That's a nice profit. On the east, we've got 60K in FBO operation income, which is cool. And in the west, I bet you we're probably about the same. Well, 43K in the West. So we've got a total of 112 flights so far in the West. And if we take a look at the East, we've got 203 flights. So the East coming along quite nicely. A lot of those flights are me, but there's a lot of flights in the East, which is cool. So that's where we are money-wise. Now, aircraft-wise, let's see, go to VRAviation. We still got the 1900D. We've got 2 Barons. We added a C90, I think, since last time. Lease donated by Mike, and 1316MC. That's a KBTM if you want to fly King Air C90. We got the Challenger from Megaphone at BTM as well, which gets used quite a bit. I think we added a... Did we add one of these Caravans? I'm not sure. I added the DA-62 actually today, so actually last night, so that's going to be a KWWD available to fly. And the PC-12, I added one of mine at WWD as well since we last streamed, so fair number of planes for members to fly. And you know, these rentals are there because it generates income for the group. You know, even though you're paying rent on it, that money goes right back to the group, and you still get paid on the top end of the assignments, so it really doesn't affect you. The rental cost really doesn't affect you when you're flying, but it generates, you know, when you're not flying, we have other people outside the group flying the plane, and that generates income for the group, so that's why we've got rent on most of the planes. As far as the FBOs go, let's take a look at the East first. Well, actually, let's do it. Yeah, we'll see here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 15 FBOs, I think, in the East now. Since we added KWWD and KWAY since the last stream. And right now, if we're going to add anything here, it's going to be a 2 or 3 lotter. I'm looking at a 3 lotter that'll be right in the midst of this, which would really make this a nice network. On the West, we've got 11 FBOs, still KBTM in the center, and you see KBTM has a lot of assignments to fly. If you look at WWD, we've got a lot of assignments there as well. So come on out to our core hubs, and you've got plenty of money you can make. Got a nice amount of planes. We're adding more planes to the mix here. My theory is the more planes we have here at the hub, you know, the better chance of people flying there. So trying to bring planes in, people fly. So anyway, that's where we are group-wise, and I think we're making some nice progress. Oh, while I went through all that, I didn't have the Chrome window on, so that means I have to do it again. Sorry about that. You guys are saying, yeah, you just don't. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. Let me go through this again. We got plenty of time, so. All right, so we got about 2.3 million in revenue, cash right now. Monthly statement for VRAviation, 1.8, almost 1.9 million in assignment income, 670 in net income, which is great. 51K for rentals, and that's nice. That's added money that you know, that basically covers the operating cost of the planes, which is good. So that's that money-wise. If we take a look at the FBOs, we go to the East. We're making 63K off of FBO operations with 203 flights. And in the West, we've made 43K off FBO with 112 flights. So getting a fair amount of flights in our networks. Europe is gone, as I mentioned before. We sold that for 1.7 million. Made about 900K profit on that. Let's see. If you take a look at the airplanes, sorry to have to do this again. You got our 1900D. You got our two Barons. C90 we've added. And the other one we've added are the Diamond, which I'm flying now. That's going to be available at I leased that to the group for $0. It'll be available at Cape May, and also my PC-12 I leased to the group for $0. So we've got a fair amount of planes now for people to fly, and we'll be adding them over time, and also always accepting, you know, generous donations of planes to the group to help build things up. So That's from the plane perspective. And let's take a look at the FBOs. In the east, we've got, like I said, I think it's 15. There's all our FBOs. We added KWAY and KWWD since the last stream. And then status quo in the west. Pretty much status quo in the west with BTM as the center. I know we added 9, this guy here, right? Did we add Big Sandy? One of these we've added a couple weeks ago. So we're going to be looking to probably add more to this group. We're going to really gear ourselves towards 2 lotters because you get more assignments. So anyway, that's the status of the group. But thanks to all for all the great flying that you guys are doing. Take a look at the VRAviation group website. Let's take a look at our report. You guys can access this if you like at any time. I'd like to refresh this just to make sure it's updated. I'll get to your compass in 1 second there, bro. All right, so you've got, you can see we're showing profit margin and profit per nautical mile, which is a really cool stat. In fact, we may do a contest on that. This month we've got a contest on profit margin. So the highest person with the highest profit margin is going to get, I think it's a 25K virtual bonus. But a lot of flights, which is great. Very profitable flights, which is great. And look at this. I mean, Goldbeard. $34 per nautical mile. That's pretty awesome. So he's 37 per, oh, that basically, that depends on how much you fly. That's probably the highest there, right? 33. I have to figure out if we could do a contest on that and how to put the parameters around it so it's fair to everybody. But in any event, thanks to Mike for doing this. It's anytime you want to see how the group's doing, you can go here, just click reports and check it out. So that's that. All right, so that's the update, guys. Let's see. The compass is built with a little bit of tilt to it. Curious, kind of neat. I'm not seeing any animation except rotation, so I don't think she banks. Yeah, when I was banking, it wasn't moving. Why would they build it with tilt? Why would they build that with tilt? I wonder if that's on the real plane like that. You know, you would think that the ball would tilt with the plane, right? I don't know. Anyway, it's a small nuance, not too important. All right, let's just check everything here. Yep, everything looking good. It probably could. Run an 84. Push it up a little bit. So yeah, I have to say that since the last stream, X-Plane 11 2.0 went general available, so out of beta, and I gotta tell you, every plane I fly is awesome. Even the third-party planes, I've been having no trouble at all with them, which is fantastic. Hats off to Laminar. I know some people complain about it. You know, some people have issues with VR. You don't know what kind of systems people are running. I could tell you that for my system, which I feel is optimized for VR, it's a great experience. It's a great experience. Once in a while, I have a little bit of stuttering. I'll put up with that. But it's a great experience. The visuals are great. They're getting better and better. And very happy, and hats off to Laminar for doing a great job implementing VR in X-Plane 11. I think it's awesome. Hope you guys agree with me. Hey, isn't that kind of weird? It's a 4-degree, but it looks like more than... Oh, squawking 1200. If you'd like to do that, that's fine. That would be great. I don't think we have a 172 at WWD. Let me just look here. So generous, Dan, with your planes. Very nice of you. Actually, we already do have a Skyhawk there. I mean, if you want to put it there, that's fine. If you want to put it at 33N, you could put it there, because I'm sure 33N would be a good spot for a Skyhawk. I don't think we have a Skyhawk there. Maybe that's a better place, because 33N, or even 3N6 is another. I'm going through this showing you here. So 3N6, maybe put it at 3N6, because 3N6 is Old Bridge. We own that airport, and it's linked to 3 others, so you get a nice amount of traffic here. And they're kind of shorter trips. You can see they're like under 90 miles. So I think that your C-172 would be a good plane there. So yeah, if you want to put it at 33N, that'd be awesome. Thank you. Squawking is so generous. He's got, let's see, he's got, how many, I think 4 planes now that you've leased to the group? Let's see, we've got, where are you? D-Rogi. So you've got your Tri-Pacer and your Warrior. Yeah, if you want to put the Skyhawk at 33N, that'd be awesome. Oh, west, is it like way far west? Like, is it going to be a super long flight? Because I don't want to see you have to do that. I mean, if you're going to move it, I would say, I'm sorry, I think I said 33N before. If you're going to move it, I would say move it to 3N6. M9, the way leases work is I can lease a plane. Let me give you this example. Like this plane I'm flying now, the Diamond, right? I'm leasing it to the group. Oh, okay, Rhode Island, that's fine. No, if you could put it at 33, sorry, put it at 3N6, squawking, because that's actually closer, probably. I think it's closer. And I think it'd be a better spot for it. 3N6 would be a better spot for it. So M9, the way leases work is I own the plane, right? I can lease it to you or a group, a person or a group, right? I could lease it for any amount of money I want. All the leases that we have that are all the planes that are leased to the group are all leased for $0. So I'm not collecting any money in lease for this plane. Okay. So we don't have any lease payments on any planes. Every plane that's leased to us is for $0, which is great. You know, basically, I've got like 6 planes. If we're going to use them, I'm going to use them for the group anyway. And the way I look at it is you don't make enough money on rentals to cover much anyway, so you might as well lease it to the group and let the group make the money on the rental so it helps pay stuff off. You know, that's my thought process. Hope I explained that clearly. Now, there was a time when we were leasing a plane. I think we were releasing a Baron at one point and a Cessna when we first merged with Mike and Dave's group, and we paid those leases off, or we got rid of them because we made enough money to buy our own planes, so we just stopped. And it wasn't that expensive, but it was like, you know, I think the Cessna was costing us like $3,000 a month, and I think the Baron was costing us like $8,000 a month or something like that. Yeah, it's a $0 transaction. So any plane that is leased to our group, we're not paying $1 for. It's basically leased for $0. We're renting, you know, think of it as we're renting it for $0. But the group can rent that plane out to a pilot, and the group recoups those rental fees. So it's a nice money move. All right, where the hell are we? We are 40 miles south of Reagan National. I don't think I've ever landed at Reagan National. I can't remember landing there. But we're getting closer. We got 14 minutes. Cruising at 162. Everything looks optimal. One thing I will tell you, if you buy this plane, you load it up, you put in the serial number to validate it, and then you got to shut down X-Plane and restart it, because I flew it right away and I had all kinds of problems. The engine crapped out, got low oil pressure, the gauges would, the touch controllers wouldn't work. So if you buy this plane, install it, load up X-Plane 11, put in your serial number when you first load the plane up, and then quit X-Plane 11 and restart it, and then everything will be cool. At least that's what happened to me. Because I started, I was like, oh, why aren't the, I think I even posted it, why aren't the touch controllers working? And it was because you have to start with a fresh reload. Hold on a sec, guys. Sorry, guys. So, here's one thing I want to let you guys know. So, Sapper, as you know, he's one of the guys who came into the group through the merger with RML. A great guy. He started a finance company on FSE. I can't remember what it's called. Let me see if I can dig it up here. But he is able, his company is able to loan you money for planes, for FBOs, if you want to do that. Let me just see if I can find it. Sapper Finance, as it's called. And I'll even, because Sapper is such a good guy, here is the link. Okay, it's sapperfinances.wixsite.com/loans. If you want to check it out, and you need to borrow money to buy one of these planes, he's there to lend it to you. And I think he's got 0 interest rates for VRAviation pilots. So if you want to join VRAviation and you want a 0 interest rate loan, that's the way to do it. So make sure you check that out if you're looking to borrow money. Let me ask him. In any event, all right, so we've got 28 miles, we've got 10 minutes. And the one thing you have to remember to do, and I forgot to do it, I've been flying all this time without it, is you have to minimize the X-plane mirror window, because it gives you a couple more frames, maybe, you know, 5, 6 more frames, but it definitely improves the experience. All right, so we're going to get ready to land here. It would be nice to have checklists. Hopefully Aerobask will add the checklists, so you could do your landing checklists and stuff like that. So we're going to go flaps to landing, so it's the 3rd position, and you can see it tells you right there we've got indicated airspeed at 119, well, 136 to 119, so just kind of keep that in my mind there. And we're at 2,000, so probably want to get down to like 1,500. So let's bring that down to 1,500. And we'll go vertical speed down. We'll just go down slowly, 300 feet per minute. You guys know what this ECU system is all about? See it right there? There's one for the right engine, left engine. There's a test system. I have to learn about that. Here's your de-icing. The starters are kind of strange. It's not really a key. You kind of like press the button to start the plane. Got the outside, so we've got 20 miles to go here. Got to sleep that plane is. Yeah, so I mean, with this plane, if you own this plane, I don't see why you would want to fly a Baron anymore. I mean, it's a nice plane, and if you have X-Plane 11, it's free. I think it's free with FSX2 as well. You know, for me, the Baron's textures are kind of like lame in VR, and these textures are awesome. This plane is as fast as the Baron, if not a little faster, and it carries one more person. So it seems to be it's a nice GA plane for FSEconomy. I would say that this plane is going to be pretty successful in FSEconomy. If you've got the money, you might want to pick one up. Especially for those 100-mile flights, those quick, or those 30, 40-mile flights. Make a nice quick buck on it, you know. Put 6 people in the plane and make some money. All right, so we've got about 5 minutes to Reagan. That's the electrical controller for your pumps throttle mixture. You have an A and B system per engine. A is primary, B is backup. You are supposed to do a test of both systems before you take off. Okay. It's like an auto mix prop pitch. Oh. I gotcha. So basically, you want to leave it on the auto setting. It's auto mix prop and pitch. That's pretty cool. So basically, that's what makes it kind of like a not autonomous, but it makes it simpler to fly. So basically when you're on the ground, you hit the test, and I'll have to read about what you're looking for in the test result, but sounds good. Thank you. I mean, think about this, as fast as the SR-20, and, you know, the SR-20 can only carry 3 people. I mean, I still love flying that SR-20, though. I'll always be one of my favorite planes. But I think in my mind, this plane will pretty much replace the Baron for me. I mean, I'm not saying don't fly the Baron. You know, a lot of people like the Baron. That's fine, but this plane is... I tend to like the glass cockpits for a number of reasons, and with Laminar's PFD and MFD, it makes it a lot easier to navigate. You can see orientations of the runway and stuff like that. So it's a much more pleasant, or I should say, a lot more informational experience, if you will. So I have a feeling that this is going to become my my medium-sized GA go-to. Baseball fields. Get a little extra baseball today with the Yankees because they suspended the game last night in the 5th inning, I guess it was, or 4th inning. I think it was mid-5th. So it wasn't a complete game, or an official game. So they're going to pick that up at, I guess, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. And then you got the second game with Sabathia going against Schwarzer, which should be a good game if you're a Yankee fan. Hopefully they'll stay on a roll. All right, 8 miles. Okay, you have to hold the test. Let's see. Yeah, I noticed that. No mixture, no condition levers, just the throttle. Your ECU does all that automatically, so it's it's a computerized system. You have to hold it to test. You're looking for an RPM increase, decrease, then increase, then finally decrease. So increase, decrease, increase, decrease. 2 ups, 2 downs. The whole time you hold the button down, it takes like 20 seconds. Then when it's over, there's a message saying pass or fail. Okay, you remember, if I remember right. Doing the check, it'll say fail. That's part. Okay, so during the test, I see it'll say fail. Yeah, the 208 is awesome too, man. The 208 is a great money maker for sure. I agree with that. Next, the explanation of the ECU. So basically, it's, would you say it's how easy way to remember it is? 2 ups, 2 downs. 2 ups, 2 downs. Gotcha. You hold the button the whole time. Maybe we'll do that after we land here. Alright, where's Reagan? There's Reagan. Oh, no, sorry. That's not Reagan. That's our GPS turn. So we're getting ready to do that. And then it's a quick jaunt into Reagan, so. Let's bring her down to 12,000. Sorry, 1,200. All right, so 2 ups and 2 downs. Gotcha. In the RPM. I like the 208, and I also like the Quest, the Quest Kodiak. I think the Quest Kodiak is one less person, but the Quest Kodiak is all VR, so you get that really a much better immersive feeling. The 208, the Carenado 208, is, to me, it's kind of like flying a bathtub, because it just, I don't know. I don't think the flight modeling is that great in it, but In any event, I like the Quest, the Kodiak Quest a little bit better. All right, there's our airport. We're going to take it off autopilot. Let's take a zoom in there. Okay, we got clearance to land, so we're going to throttle back here, start to slow that plane down. We want it to 139 for the first flap, so we need to get that back here. Get our trim up. Use the plane to slow it down. Bring the nose up, slow the plane down. Get 139 or 136, sorry. Getting pretty close here on our flaps. All right, here we go. First notch, 136. And we're gonna get the gear down. And 119, second notch. Nice wide view, like a lot of windshield space. You know, you don't feel like you're obstructed in any way, which is nice. There's 500. I think we want to be like 80 knots defense, and then kind of land it like I've been landing it like the SR-20, so 80 knots defense, and then flare it out and throttle down, let the plane come down. Pretty stable at slow speeds. There's 80. Now this plane, this airport has a lot of autogens, so I expect to have a little bit of frame stuttering. All right, there's Reagan. Got that runway made. And we'll just get that down. Get the flare going. Throttle down. Bring her down. Beautiful. Tap those brakes. We're going to stop right here because we got one more stop, so. Got nice head movement. You know, nice plane movement on the ground. Very realistic. Set parking brake. Set parking brake. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Okay. Let's see, you'll see a left test button and a right test button for doing one engine at a time. There's a hidden button in the middle of the two, but that does both at the same time. This simulates being able to push both at the same. I see, okay. It's hard to do in VR. That's a good idea. All right, Squawking, thanks for checking out the stream, man. Appreciate that. All right, so let's do, we're going to end FSEconomy. We're dropping these guys off. And unfortunately, we don't have, let's see, we don't have anybody at DCA we can bring to any of our airports. So we're just gonna go and rent this plane again and flyer empty. Let's just take a look at the first hours we put on the plane. There it is. Just about an hour. Cool. All right, so how far we're flying here? We're flying about 100 miles. So let's just see here. Let's do 100. Unless we need 10 gallons, we got 45. I'll just put 50. No, you know, just to be an extra 5 gallons, not going to kill All right, start flight. And there we go, we're in progress. Can you show your joystick sensor? You mean my joystick setups? You mean the setup for joysticks? You mean? Yeah, I'm using. This is the CH products. Okay. And if I go to, let me show you this. Let me see if I can show you. I guess you're asking to see. All right, there's the X-plane screen. Let's go to. Oh, actually, I could do it this way. So you want to see the setup? So let's go to joystick and yoke. That's how I have things set up. I'm not sure. Looking for control sensitivity. This is how I have it set up right there. So I have pitch at 10%, roll at 10%, yaw at 50. On the control response and the stability, I've got a 10%, 10%, 50. Hopefully that's helpful. All right. Let's see. So we're good to go. So let's get on the road here. We're gonna get to Cape May. Get this plane back home. We'll fly at set altitude 2,000.
Engine 1 is already running.
No, that's not what I want to do. Let's do it manually. Let's go to 2,000. And I'm going to go vertical speed up at 600 feet per minute. And we got, we're going to go nav. We're good to go. But take off, make a right turn, and we'll be heading to... Now you can overcook this engine. Oh, I forgot to do the test. Oh well. You can overcook this engine, so you got to be careful with the throttle.
Flight 209er, clear for vector 324.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger, roger. What's our vector, Victor?
What's our vector, Victor? All right, let me get this plane in the air. All right, let's go here. We'll get our autopilot on. And then we're good to go. She'll climb to 2,000. Cleaned up the flaps, cleaned up the gear. Everything sounds good. Everything looks good. I like that ECU. That's pretty cool. So basically it's a electronic control system, which is awesome. There's a hidden button in the middle. Interesting. All right. So let's get this plane on. To where we're going to go here. What if we go over the White House? Restricted airspace. I never flew over the White House in DC. I have to do that sometime. Kind of cool. All right. Yeah, those are the sensitivity settings that I've had for. I haven't changed them for months. Kind of settled on that and felt the best to me. So try that out. Maybe that'll be helpful. Yeah, show clickable regions. Yeah, I've seen. The other thing you could probably do is just like half touch the laser pointer, right? Just do that, and there it is right there, right? So there's that, and there's the hidden one right there, right there. That laser pointer will basically highlight anything you can mess with. Let's see, and you can feel a little feedback in the on the touch controller. So there it is, right. Oh, I don't want to do. Gotta be careful because you don't want to do the test. Right there, boom. All right, coming up to 2,000, and then we're on our way to Cape May. I appreciate you guys checking out the stream. Who followed? Let's see who's that latest follower. That would be Slovendef. Oh, the dude that was asking about sensitivity. Thank you, Slovendef. Appreciate that. Thanks for the follow. Thanks to all you guys for following. I appreciate that. I'm gonna try to stream more. It's been hectic with the warm weather, and I have a bunch of stuff that's been going on in my life that has kept me from being able to stream as much as I wanted to. But we're gonna work on that, doing more of that. I was certainly waiting for this plane to come out, and when it did come out for FSE, I should say, pretty exciting. That must be Dulles there. Sure. Let's see. Is it Dulles? Well, that would be Andrews Air Force Base. That would be Andrews Air Force Base, right off the right wing, right there. So if you're interested in this plane, and again, I bought it. I don't get a commission on it or anything like that. If you want to buy it, you can get it on X-Plane.org. It's an Aerobask Diamond DA-62, and it is awesome in VR. I gotta tell you, it is awesome in VR. Check our engine parameters here. Fuel flow is about 16 gallons. And electrical looks good. Everything's in the green. Wonder why the right engine is showing lower amps than the left engine. That's weird. Wonder why that is. Isn't that kind of weird? Oil temp's good, oil pressure's good, cooling temp is good, fuel temp is good. I like this little indicator here. I'm not sure what this does. Figure that out. I like where the instrument panel lights are. That's kind of cool. Let's see it. Turn them off and on there. I like them lit up so you can see things. Up here, you can't really touch anything there. Can't touch that. Oh, look, there's a little BFR chart. This is not touchable. And there's your lights. All right, 162. .166 ground speed, 162 indicated. We're not very high up, so we're not going to get the benefit of that, but that's all right. Low and slow, or low and medium, I should say. And again, yeah, just as fast as the Baron, but more people, right? So that's why I was really looking forward to it. I think this will be a popular plane on FSE, so like I said, there's only 3 of them left. I'm not sure how many more they're going to be adding. I think there's, if I looked at all of them, there's probably about 30 of them in the system. So sure once the word spreads, people are going to want to get their hands on one. So buy it now. Like I said, I was lucky to get it for $400K when there was about like 8 of them for sale. Actually, who was it that? I think B2. Yeah, B2, who's one of our pilots, the VRAviation pilots, posted something in my Discord that it was available on FSE last night, and I was like, boom, went right in and bought one. And then I tried to fly it, and there was no alias, and I was like, oh, man, you can't fly this thing without an alias. And it turns out that one thing I didn't know is when they add a plane, in order for you to be able to fly it, someone with Microsoft Flight Simulator has to set up basically a title for the plane and do a test flight or whatever, and that sends the alias to FSE. You would think that the way they would do it is they'd add the plane and they'd add an alias, right? But that's not the way it works. So the X-Plane 11 client won't work unless there's an alias, and if you looked for an alias for this plane before, you know, like noon today or whatever, there was no alias, so it was frustrating. Couldn't fly it. So anyway, one of the frustrations of FSC. But some nice person heard the call on the community board and was able to add the alias, and now we're flying it. So, as I'm sure a lot of other people are. So I got to ask, do any of you guys own this plane? Oh yeah, well I know you have it, dude. You've got the side business startup going, doing the VR enhancements. It's a really good idea, dude. That's a really good idea. You know, it's an excellent idea. Especially, you know, I'm not sure if you've got the ability to do that to like Carinado planes. I guess you have to have the clickable region. I don't know how it works, but like, if you were able to do like the PC-12's autopilot or the 208's autopilot, that kind of thing, I think you've got a winner there. Now the only disadvantage is, you know, once Aerobask or Carinado or the manufacturer or the developer of the plane comes out with a release that fixes these things, then the thing that you did might become obsolete. But in the meantime, you're filling the gap. Certainly, in this time when we've got a lot of planes that are third-party planes that have very little VR support, you know. So I think it's a pretty cool idea. Yeah, filling the gap for the birth of, and you should, you know what, dude? You should put, I'm not sure if you care about this or not, but you're spending your time doing this, and I don't see any reason why you shouldn't put a PayPal donation button on your page. It's cool that you're giving it away for free. It's awesome. But I don't see why you shouldn't do that. You're helping people out, you know. And someone throw you $5, $10 for your time and effort. Nothing wrong with that, you know. But it's an awesome idea that you're doing. It definitely, you know, especially those. If you can you enhance the VR manipulation in like the Carinado planes too? Is that too difficult? Or I'm just curious. You can customize. So like let's say, for example, the 208, right? The Carinado 208, which is one of the most popular planes on FSE. It has very limited VR manipulation. Certainly the autopilot can't be manipulated with VR. Are you able to make, like, let's say, the autopilot clickable with a touch controller? Can you access those clickable regions and make them more defined? I guess that's what I don't know what you're doing, but is that a possibility? Okay, so you got to own the plane. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to give you a little idea. We all know how long it takes Carinado to update anything. Okay. The three planes, actually, there's 4 planes I think you should look at. Okay. One is the Aerobask 550, the Eclipse 550. Okay, the jet. That plane, the problem there is that you can't manipulate the GPS system. Was it the GNS 750, whatever it is, with a touch controller? That's one thing. If you own that plane, that's one. If you were able to do that, that would be popular. The 208 would be popular. The B1900D would be popular, and the PC-12 would be popular. So those 4 planes, if you could do those 4 planes, you would definitely get some people interested. The Eclipse especially. There were 78 unclickable regions in the SOB, and you made them all clickable. That's awesome. Do you own the Eclipse 550, that jet? It's the Aerobask Eclipse 550. Because I know people have been dying to get that thing in VR. If you look at the message boards on X-Plane.org, you know, there's a number of us that have been asking Aerobask to make that thing VR compatible. Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to tell you it's a huge need. I can tell you that it's a very popular plane. And you know, you can probably like comb the X-Plane.org community boards and see which planes that people are interested in. I could tell you that. I would like I said, I would think those 4 that I mentioned are pretty popular. The 208, the 1900D, those are Carinado planes. The BC-12, another Carinado plane, and the Aerobask Eclipse 550. Those planes are all very popular, and they're very limited in VR as far as manipulation. They fly well, they have pretty good frame rates, but you can't, you know, in the 1900D, you can't access the autopilot. The same with the PC-12, and the same with the 208. And in the Aerobask, the 550, it's an issue with, it's a touchscreen GNS 750 that you don't have access with. And Aerobask is saying they need laminar to do something before they can make it compatible. So I'm not sure. Yeah, me too. I mean, it would be really nice to have the Eclipse. That would be a great plane in FSE. Really would. All right, so we got 50 miles. We got about, what was that, 10 minutes? 10 minutes. Sometimes it's difficult to see the difference between a 10 and an 8. Yeah, 18 minutes, sorry. What's cool is like the top of this instrument panel, it looks like it's like suede. It's pretty cool. I mean, you really think that it really thinks like you could reach out and touch the suede, which is kind of cool. All right, so this plane will be at KWWD if you guys want to rent it. If you're a member of VRAviation, you can make money renting it for the group. But yeah, check it out. All right, so I just checked with Sapper Finances, and if you are looking to borrow money in FSE from Sapper Finance, and they have plenty of money to lend out, and you are a member of VRAviation, you're a pilot in the VRAviation group, you get a 0% interest rate loan. Can't beat that. I think most of the finance companies are charging like 10% on FSE. So you're getting a 0 interest loan on anything you buy. So if you want to buy one of these planes for $450,000, $500,000, 0 interest loan if you're a VRAviation pilot. So make sure you check that out and take advantage of that. Sapper Finances. I put the link in the description before. Let me see if I can do that again. It is sapperfinances.wixsite.com/loans. But yeah. So it's an introductory offer. So for the first couple of months, they're offering this 0% interest to VRA members. But after a couple of months, you know, they'll be doing interest loans. But so get in it while you can if you're looking to borrow money. All right, cool. So, minutes. You notice a lot of horse farms when you're flying over Maryland and Delaware. Nice looking plane. Yep, so the VRAviation livery should be available soon. I'm going to start working on that, get that out for you guys. At the bottom of that plane. Look how those. Let's just check the gear. I'm going to put the gear down here. Nice. All right, so we got 38 miles to Cape May. Be there before you know it. Can you operate that touchscreen without the pop-up? You cannot operate, if you're asking me if you can, no, you cannot operate it in VR. It's got no clickable regions on it at all in VR. So the touch controller will not work. I'm not sure. I've never tried the 3D mouse on it. Actually, I think the 3D mouse does work. But the touch controller doesn't work, if I remember correctly. Well, you should start to get some interest because I know you put a post on the VRAviator's Facebook page, which I saw that, and that's fine. And, as long as you're not charging, it's not an advertisement. I'm totally cool with that. You're giving the thing away, which is awesome. So we're totally cool with that. So yeah, I mean, it's hopefully that'll get you some eyeballs. Oh, you mean in 2D? No, you do not have to pop the GNS out to operate it. You can, in 2D, you can do it with a mouse in the cockpit. You don't have to pop it out. And actually, when I used to fly with Fly Inside, you could use the mouse and Fly Inside when you're in the cockpit to manipulate that. So it did work with Fly Inside, although there were some other regions that didn't work. But it's odd. There's some regions, clickable regions available in that plane, in that jet, I should say, and there's some that just don't work. Mainly the GNS. I mean, it's a great jet. If you want to own a jet, it's a cool jet to own. I think it's, I want to say it's 6 passenger. Let me pull that up here. Got a little bit of time here. Let me pull that up here. So let's go to planes and the Eclipse. It's the 500 in FSE. Really the 550. So if we look at the Eclipse, it's a 5-passenger jet. It's a small jet, but I think it would be popular. Go on the org. It's not. I don't want the diamond. I want the Eclipse 550. It's $40. It's not a cheap plane. It's got the GTN 750, I should say. I mean, it's a solid plane from Aerobask, for sure. That's the plane if you want to check it out. Hey Sapper, how you doing? Thanks for joining. I appreciate that. I was telling everyone here, well, not many people here, still, there's a couple people here, that you've got your finance company, Sapper Finance. I'll put that link in here one more time. And for the next couple of months, you're offering interest-free loans to VRAviation pilots. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. sapperfinances.wixsite.com/loans. Is where you want to check that out for you guys watching on YouTube. Let's see, you're going to pour over some of the forums and see if they specifically say what the problem is. And yeah, you should. If you look in X-Plane.org, I remember seeing a thread, and one of the developers from Aerobask said that they were waiting on Laminar. So look in the X-Plane.org forum for the Eclipse 550. You'll probably see that thread. I think there's a thread like VR. I think I actually put it up, like VR control on the Eclipse or something. I may not have. I know I commented on it, so check that out, and I'm sure you'll get some information But yeah, so Sapper's got his finance company. Make sure you guys take advantage of that. Again, it's introductory offer. Yep, you see my comment? Yeah, so check that out. And that's what I was concerned about. They said that they were waiting for a Laminar to do something. All right, let's see where we are here. We're going to get this bird. We're going to cross the Delaware Bay here. And then we will be coming into our home base. So Sapper, what do you think of the Diamond DA-62? I don't know if you've flown this plane yet, but I gotta tell you, I think it's awesome, man. I'm gonna be working on a livery for it, VRAviation. It flies awesome, it looks awesome, it holds 6 passengers. It's a great GA plane, it really is. And now available for FSE. Great frame rates, although most planes now have pretty good frame rates. And sleek as hell. Look how sleek that plane is. That is a sleek plane. Kind of reminds me of a dolphin. You know, it's got that dolphin shape. The SR-20's kind of got that dolphin egg shape too. It's a little bit more bulbous in the fuselage. This thing's more a little streamlined, but fun plane to fly, that's for sure. Here's that Delaware shoreline. Along the bay. It's not the beach, the bay. Across the bay into New Jersey. And then I guess we're making a right turn into, or it's pretty much straight in. Crash, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining. We're just coming in for our landing here at Cape May, flying the new, well, not new to FSE, the Diamond DA-62. It's been around for a little over a month, I think. Aerobask DA-62, but just added to FSE last night. Alias added about an hour and a half ago, and now taking it on the first flight in FSEconomy, which I gotta say, I think it's going to replace the Baron for me. This is going to be my go-to plane for the 6-passenger GA deal. Certainly a lot of lucrative flights in the Eastern network with this plane, so it'll be here at WWD. Who knows? We might buy another one, but it'll be here at WWD if you guys want to fly it. A lot of fun. All right, we're coming into 4 minutes. We're going to get her down to 1,500 feet. Actually, we might as well go down to 12. It's nice when you don't, I mean, I'm taking the headset off to look at chat because I don't have, Dash hasn't been working great as far as chat goes. I've been losing the chat window. It just goes away and I can't get it back. So I know that's an Oculus issue. So I'm lifting the headset up to look at chat, but otherwise, there's no reason to be outside of this plane. I can basically do everything from inside this plane, which gives you the full immersion, which is what you want, right? All right, 169. We're going to start to slow this baby down. Because we're going to go down about 400 feet here and turn into Cape May. The alias is already sorted out, dude. Yeah. The alias is already sorted out. Some kind soul created an alias, I guess from Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, you're all set to go, man. It's great in VR, it really is. It's sweet in VR. I'm going to level off at 1200. Pretty calm day in the Delaware Bay, crossing the outer points of the Delaware Bay, Atlantic Ocean right out there to our right. I should say to our east. Actually, to the south. It's actually the south that way. We're heading dead east right now. See, now the compass is level. That's odd. So now the compass is completely level. Before it was like tilted. Now it's level. That's kind of weird. I think that's a bug. And it's also got some weird brown blotchy stuff on it right there. So maybe they've got to fix the compass. Alright, 138. Let's speed up a little bit here. And go to like 145. It would be nice to have a trim indicator right there so you have to look down like that to see it. Although in real life it would be a peripheral vision kind of thing, but in VR you kind of have to like tilt your head down to see the trim. Myself straightened out here. Get that out of the way. Probably want the fuel pumps on while landing, so let's get those on. Yes. Although I landed without them before, so let's take them off. Until I read the manual. Until I read that manual. Alright. We got the runway. I'll tell you what do you say? We know where the airport is, right there. Let's go do a little sightseeing. Now right there, it's a little canal that goes to the southern tip of New Jersey for smaller boats. To basically, I think it's actually part of the intercoastal. So you don't have to go, basically you can go down from the Matitaconk River down to here and not have to go out front of the ocean. And if you cross Delaware Bay, you cross over to the intercoastal on the Delaware side. And you never go out into the Atlantic. That's the idea, to be able to, for pleasure boats, to be able to go down to, actually the intercoastal goes down to Florida. It's kind of cool. gonna go check out I think we got Atlantic City over here. It's amazing how quickly in this plane you can get from the west coast of New Jersey to the east coast of New Jersey. That would probably be the Atlantic City Inlet right there. Might be Ocean City. Atlantic City might be a little further up. One thing I don't like about the Autogen is how they should be able to put some algorithm to not have trees by the beach. You know? I mean, they should be able to say, okay, this is the Atlantic Ocean, we shouldn't have trees on the beach. Yeah, this is probably Ocean City and Wildwood. This Cape May is back behind us. This is probably Wildwood. Not sure, actually. But in any event, just wanted to take a little quick cruise down by the beach. Then we'll head over and land here. This is all ortho, that's why you can see, like, you can almost see the waves. Even though they're stop motion, you can see the waves there. See those trees on the sand? No good. That's no good. Should be no trees there. I think that's one thing Laminar could work on is their tree algorithm. Like, you shouldn't have trees in the middle of streets, you know, in the middle of buildings. In any event. The swamps of Jersey, as Bruce Springsteen would say. Or sing, I should say. All right, we're going to make our... Just zoom in here and see where we are here. Oh, we got 119. Traveling pretty slow. That's what's nice about this G1000. I can see the orientation of the runway there. Makes it real nice, and it's usually pretty damn accurate. Let's hit that first flap. And we're going to bring it down to 119. Second flaps. Wants to gear down. Like that warning. Gear coming down. 3 green. On final. Nice smooth movements. A joy to fly this plane. I really think that if you get this plane, you're going to get the that oh wow feeling. 'Cause when I first flew it, I got the oh wow feeling. All right, we're looking for 80 at the fence, and then we'll coast in. Flare her up and drop down the throttle. Full flaps are a little off here. There's 89, 88. That trim up. Electronic trim. You can hear the trim. I can hear the electronic trim. Here's 82. There's the fence. And looking for that skid mark. that flare going. Drop that throttle to idle. There you go. A little bit of rubber. Clean those flaps up. Welcome home to the Diamond DA-62, to its new home at Cape May, KWWD. Actually, you can get this scenery on X-Plane.org. No, on, where did I get it? Yeah, X-Plane.org. It's like the Jersey Shore scenery or something like that. Free scenery if you want to download it. Park next to this, looks like a Challenger. Yeah, it's definitely a Challenger. All right, here we go, right there. Set parking brake.
Parking brakes set.
All right, let's see if we can turn this plane off now. So let me first end FSEconomy. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to be working on that crash. I'm going to be working on a livery. Oh, Simhaven Forest. Okay. I'll have to check that out. Thanks. I appreciate that. You know what I'm going to do here is I want to do a replay. Let's do a replay. It's going a little bit to rewind it, but here we go. Let's do a replay. We'll watch the landing. All right, now let's do this. Let's do our we teleport out of here? Yeah, let's teleport out of here. Where's our plane? There's our plane. There's our plane. There's our plane. Let's go over here. I'd like to see this from... There we go. Let's get over right here. And now we'll go to here. Replay. Ooh, that's smooth. Nice. Nice. Very nice. There it is, right there. The Diamond DA-62. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna take off here, and this was a lot of fun, and I highly recommend this plane for sure. So, guys, hey, listen, thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube, and subscribe to Bambino Games. more X-Plane 11 in VR, and we'll be back soon with more VR aviation and flying in FSEconomy. Thanks for joining me, guys, and have a great day.